Hi, everyone. I want to go over your last map activity that you're going to do this week and for third grade. It is called Land for This and Land for That. It's about how the people in Michigan, how Michigan's land is used. And you're going to be using side one of your desk map. You're going to be using the full map of Michigan, the big upper and lower peninsula, as well as this smaller section right here where it's called the land and its uses. So you're going to be going back and forth between this section and this section. So you're going to sort of have to match it up. Okay. And what you're going to do today. So, what I've done is I've blown up or taken a quick picture of that particular section, and I want to go over it a little bit with you and explain this activity. And I'll go over all of that with you in just a second. Okay. So, think about this. Have you ever wondered how the land in Michigan is used for different things? There are a lot of them are economic activities, and these activities help people earn a living. But not all land is useful for the same activity. If you want to have a farm, you want it where the soil is good and the weather's warmer. If you want to make steel, you want a place near a port so ships can bring you iron ore. A part of this desk map shows how Michigan's land is used. So that's you'll be on side one and you're going to find this section, the land and its uses. A different color is shown for each map, for each use on the map. And this is just a guide. Moving a few miles, like one way or another, doesn't mean that everything suddenly changes what he or she does. Okay? So I'm going to go over each of these particular sections with you. And your map color may be a little bit slightly different than what I'm going to explain to you. I know mine looks orange and yellow, and it's really supposed to be red and tan. I'm not really sure what yours looks like if they're that same color, but you'll get the gist. Okay, first of all, is this dark green area, which covers all of the upper peninsula and like the upper part of the lower peninsula, this big section here. That shows that the land has many trees. So what we call this is the forest region. This is that section right here. This is the forest region with lots of trees. Then let's go to the light green area, which is just to the south of that green area on the eastern side of Michigan, really in the thumb area. That's where edible beans and sugar beets are grown. So we call this the beans and sugar beets region. And that's indicated down here, the last thing that says beans and sugar beets, right? Sugar beets. If I've mentioned this before, if you've eaten Pioneer sugar, that is made here in Michigan. As a matter of fact, that company's right up here in Midland. And there are lots and lots of sugar beet farms. Now, sugar beet, you can see them in some of the grocery stores. It is a giant kind of a root and it's very hard. I would have had some for you had we been in school, but unfortunately I can't. As a matter of fact, Mrs. Eisenman's parents live up in this area, and they were sugar beet farmers as well as soybean farmers in that area. So that is particularly what they grow: beets and beans, soybeans, as a matter of fact. The red area, which to me looks orange on this map, is the fruit growing region, so we call that the fruit region. Some people call it the fruit belt because it's long and thin, kind of looks like a belt. So things like there's the fruit here, things like cherries, strawberries, any kind like berries, raspberries, blackberries. What else can we think of? Yes, there's apples there, but there's apples in other parts of Michigan too. But that's a big, huge fruit growing region. It has the moisture in the soil because it gets the water off the Great Lakes. It's the right kind of climate and soil there. Then we're going to go on to the tan region, which to me looks yellow on this map. And that's the area where grain and dairy cattle are. So that's our grain and dairy region. And that's this right here, grain and dairy. So if you're driving through this area, you'll probably see a lot of farmland that grows wheat and you'll see cows. That's a big grain and dairy area. Then we're going to go to the dark brown area. And yep, that's us. That is the industry region. It's where most of our factories and industries are found. So it's called the industry region, indicated by this right here. Okay, so you also see some little letters on here, and that goes with this part of the region here, which shows you the natural resources in that area. Right? And those kind of natural resources are also good for the industry that comes with it as well. All right, so you're going to use this part of the map and connect it with the whole, whoops, wrong way, The whole side one, this part. So this section here, this cross section of the Detroit area, don't worry about that. It's just these two, and you're not going to use the population where people live either. Okay, those two things. Right. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to need your desk map. You're going to need your wipe off markers. You probably need a piece of pencil, a piece of paper, and a pencil to write some answers down before you put it into your assignment. Now, your assignment this time, even though you see it on LMS, you'll notice that it is actually in Google Classroom. I figured that's the best way to do this. I was able to give you the sheet that you need in a document that you can type on, and then you can just submit back to me, just like you've been doing with your essays. So that it works really well that way instead of going through LMS. But you'll have to make sure that in LMS, when you are finished, you go back to that assignment and you mark that it's finished. Right? I know that's two-step process, but you guys seem to be getting used to it by now. So you'll find your assignment in Google Classroom. Okay. So what you'll end up doing though is that you're going to be looking for these regions over on this map and looking for some cities, indicating what cities fall in that map. So there could be several answers. There's no particular right answer unless you're asked to find a city in, let's say, the industrial region, and you choose something in the Upper Peninsula. That doesn't make sense because that's the forest region. All right. It's really not too difficult, I don't believe. I think it's a kind of a fun activity. I love maps. And you kind of get an idea of, more places in Michigan where you can travel. Right. I think that's it. If you have any questions, you know how to ask me. Good luck, have fun. And that is your last map activity for third grade.